Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye, here for you this week to give you something interesting. By the time of this video, you might already know what I'm kind of leaning towards. And, you know, might be for the mostly not advanced people, but there might be a certain thing or two you might not know. So what is some photography or creative slang that you should know? Not like, yo, what up, dog? But like, hey, what's the thing about this thingamabob? Let's go into that. One of the first things I have is fast glass. What is fast glass? Essentially, that's something that, you know, speeding cop pull over, be like, oh, excuse me, are you an f2.8 or are you an f1.8? All joking aside, it's essentially a lens that will let in a lot of light. If you see a lot of your kit lenses, you'll get the 18 to 55s that say it's an f3.5 to 5.6. Those aren't necessarily fast glass. Once again, fast glass lets in a lot of light. So that's when you'll start getting your f2.8 lenses, f1.8, 1.4, 1.2, 0.95, and you'll start spending a whole lot of money. Chimping, and I'm not talking about going to the zoo. I'm talking about, it's when you take a photo, look at the shot. Take a photo, look at the shot. Take a photo, look at the shot. If you're doing this on a professional shoot, that just looks extremely unprofessional. You don't need to. Once you get your test photo done, you don't need to be looking every 2 seconds at the back of your camera screen. So chimping, that is chimping. You can do whatever you want. The magic or golden hour. It's usually the hour before and maybe a little bit after you might get a little bit of this golden look, but it's that hue that it gives when the sun is setting, and it sometimes happens when the sun is rising as well. It's essentially so before the hour before and a little bit after that you get this beautiful looking light that it's extremely, you can reproduce it, but that natural lighting like that is absolutely gorgeous. So it's that hue that everyone goes, oh wow, it's a nice warm tone on someone's skin, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Another good one to know is a prime lens. And I'll show you the example here. This is a prime lens, and it's essentially a lens that does not zoom. The only way to zoom, regardless of who you listen to, is with your feet to change your focal length and to get the compression that you need for the background. So essentially all you can do on a prime lens is just focus. This is a macro lens, but it doesn't matter. It's focus. You can't zoom. You have to zoom with your feet, which is a thing. One of the famous things I like to use is setting up a base camp, and it sounds exactly what it is. But if I go to assistant and say, hey, can you go to base camp and grab, my flash? It's essentially where you set up all your gear, especially when you're going into a wedding day where you have your light stands, maybe your soft boxes, whatever you use. But like my rolling bag, tripod and stuff like that, I set up a base camp. That's one of the first things, especially me and my second shooter, or me and my assistant. We go in, we find a base camp, we establish it, set our things down, and we kind of take over that area for the day. This is more of a videography term, but it applies, and I've used it and I've heard it used, and it's kill the Barbie. I'm not talking about the doll here. I am actually talking about a light. And, without getting too far into detail, that's what they use in the lighting industry to describe a certain type of light. So we say kill the Barbie means you either turn off the light, take the light down, take down the stand, and all that kind of stuff, like breakdown. But it's something you can use, and you probably confuse a whole lot of people. But if you had a Barbie too, that'd be confusing. That you have gas. Gas is gear acquisition syndrome. You'll hear that a lot from, people in the tech and photography community, and it's people that just want to go out and go crazy and buy the newest piece of gear. Someone goes, oof, I've got some gas, and you're not at like a Taco Bell. You're talking about photography gear. When you hear someone go, suck, you're like, suck what? It's suck. S-O-O-C. Straight out of camera, yo. This essentially means that they really didn't edit a photo yet, and they took the photo and it was straight out of the camera, right off the card, without any real post-processing. So there's some photography slang that I thought you should know that you might enjoy. Once again, some basic, some interesting, and maybe you should start bringing Barbies to shoots, because that gets millions of followers on Instagram. Maybe I gotta go do that as well. But seriously, add some slang that you know down below in regards to photography. Keep it clean, keep it easy, have some fun with it. Add it down below. Keep an eye out. I got gas.